everyone. Yesterday I made a video that was all supine poses, poses done lying on your back. And today we're going to do basically a lot of the same poses, but we're going to do the standing versions of them. So this will be slightly more active. And necessarily these poses are also balance poses. Why practice balance poses? When you're an adult and you know how to walk upright and generally keep your balance in regular daily activities, I guess there's a few reasons why balance poses are good to practice in yoga. First of all, as you get older, your balance actually does deteriorate, putting you at risk of slips and falls and injuries. So especially as you get into your later years, like elders, it's highly recommended to practice balance. Also, balance poses just tend to be fun. I think it's kind of playful just to challenge yourself and to balance in ways that you normally don't in regular living. And I just encourage you to have fun with it. Be humble, don't expect perfection, you might fall. Yeah, just try not to take yourself too seriously, and it can bring a little bit of joy and playfulness into your day. Also, I guess the main reason why I like balance poses is as a mental exercise. Balance poses kind of force you to focus on the present moment. And in daily living, there are so many distractions and constant stimuli and different things competing for our attention that we can become kind of frazzled and just have trouble with focus. So balance poses are just like practice for mental concentration. All right, so to begin, we're just gonna start in mountain pose with your feet hips distance apart. Just take a look at them, maybe lift your toes and spread them. Try to keep them spread as you firmly place them down on the yoga mat. As you distribute your weight evenly through your feet, kind of maybe bend your knees a couple times and just feel the weight of your feet settling and pressing into the floor. Firm your thighs, kind of use your quadricep muscles to lift your kneecaps. Place your hands on your hips for a moment. You can tip your pelvis forward and backwards and then try to find a neutral pelvis. Feel that your hips are level. Firm your belly. It's kind of like a gentle scooping and lifting action in your lower belly. And lift your chest, maybe roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Turn your palms forward for a moment. Feel the broadening across your collarbones as you do that. Feel the shoulder blades drawing in toward one another. Try to keep that feeling of expansiveness in the chest as you just let your hands return to face your thighs. Extend up through the crown of your head, letting your neck be long. Your chin about parallel with the ground. Maybe close your eyes for a moment and just try to place this in muscle memory. Mountain pose or Tadasana. You can open your eyes if you like. We practice mountain pose because it's part of just having good posture. You can practice it anywhere in your day-to-day life, but also on your yoga mat. And then a lot of yoga poses are just kind of recreating the alignment that's in your body when you're in mountain pose. So it also improves and informs the rest of your yoga practice. All right, we're gonna begin with hand to toe pose. You're gonna bring the weight more into your right foot. I'll try to mirror you and hopefully not make too many mistakes. You're gonna bring your knee toward your chest. I'll start with this one actually. So standing with the same alignment as mountain pose, but holding your left leg and drawing that knee in toward your chest. Keep your hips level with one another. Feel the lengthening in your lower back as your tailbone drops toward the floor. And this is a good pose just on its own. But from here, we're going to Bring your right hand to its hip. Reach inside your leg for your left big toe. And then extend, straighten that leg forward. So if you can't reach your big toe, which many people won't be able to, that's fine. You can also use a yoga strap. So then wrapping the strap around the ball of your left foot, taking a moment to find your balance, and then begin to straighten the knee, extending the leg forward in front of you. Hold the strap in both hands. Keep breathing as you work to straighten the knee, extend forward through the heel, and gently draw the toes back toward you. You can step down now if you like to take a rest. Maybe shake out your legs and arms. And now we're going to do a transition into hand to big toe pose 2. So we're going to bring the leg out to the side. So again, loop the strap around your foot, extend it forward. And yeah, like I said before, you might have to step down in between. You might fall down, that's okay. Hold the strap just in your left hand. Bring your right arm out to the side for balance. Find one point on the wall ahead of you to gaze at. And slowly begin to open your leg to the side. Bring your leg back to center, hand to your hip. Pause here. You can step down and take a rest now if you like. Otherwise, hold the strap now with your right hand. Bring the left hand out to the side for balance and begin to cross your leg across the midline. So your left leg is drawing toward the right. Bring your leg back to center. Release the strap. Hug your knee in toward your chest. And cross your ankle over your thigh as you bend your right knee and send your hips backwards. Reach your hip creases back, kind of like sticking your butt out. Keep your hands on your hips or bring them together in prayer pose. As you lower your left knee, you'll feel a deeper stretch in your outer hip. Okay, reach. Step down again. If you're not used to standing on one leg, the ankle will tire. Okay. And now we're going to come into tree pose, which most people know well. Again, your weight is still on your right foot. You can bring your foot to your inner calf. You can even keep all 10 toes on the ground if you like, if your balance is challenged today. Or you can pick that foot up and place it against your inner thigh. Hold it there as you press your thigh into your foot. And once you feel balanced there, check that your hips are level and that the left hip isn't hiking up higher than the right. You can stay here if this feels comfortable. Or if you like more challenge, you can bring your arms up overhead. Again, find that spot on the wall ahead of you to focus your gaze on, and this will really help your balance. You'll notice that as soon as you start looking around the room, it's a lot more difficult. If your arms are raised, just relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Notice that you don't just achieve balance, you're kind of constantly making small corrections. And then lower your hands down. I'm going to turn to the side for dancer pose so you can see it better. Stretch. Maybe circle the ankle or the foot to stretch the ankle in one direction and then the other, as it might be getting tired. My yoga mat keeps crumpling up because it's on a carpet. Okay. So for a dancer pose, we've stretched kind of like a lot of the hips except for the front of the hip, which we'll do now. Bring the weight more into your right foot. Kind of hold your left foot behind you with the knee bent, kind of like a quad stretch. So you bring the foot in toward your bum. You'll feel a stretch through the front of your hip and thigh. Then reach inside, so hold the inside of your foot. Bring your right arm forward for balance and begin to lift your back leg. Ooh. Ah, handy that I have a wall right beside me. Press the foot back into your hand and your hand back into your foot. And release. Okay, shake it out. Circle the foot. Oh. So we did a whole sequence of standing balance poses on one side of the body, and now we'll just repeat it on the second side. So I hope you enjoyed it. You might have been like falling frequently, and that's normal, and it's just part of the practice, because yoga is a practice, not a performance. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a moment in mountain pose just to catch my breath. Talking, I find, makes me a little more winded. Close your eyes again. Turn your attention inward and just notice how your body feels. Any differences, comparing the right side to the left. Feel your heart beating inside your chest. The air moving in and out of your body, perhaps a little quicker than at the start. And consciously relax tension in the body, relax the face. And after your next exhalation, let your eyes float open. Okay, have your strap handy nearby. Okay. So now you're going to balance on your left foot. I'll balance on my right foot. You can just place the strap even over your knee as you draw that knee in toward your chest. Again, find your gazing point. I noticed a moment ago that gazing like at a completely plain wall with no features to focus on is more difficult. It's nice if there's like some, artwork or pattern or something that gives you something to look at. So again, hips level, tailbone dropping down toward the floor. Firm your lower belly, lift your chest. And then you can reach inside the leg to grab your big toe with your peace fingers, or you can wrap the strap around the ball of your foot, holding it in both hands. Extend the leg forward. Feel a stretch through the back of the leg. You might lift it higher, or you might just be working on straightening the knee more. And from here, hold the strap just in your right hand, bring the left arm out for balance. Open the leg up to the side. Bring the leg back to center, switch hands. Cross the leg. Feel a stretch through the outer hip, traveling down the IT band, on the side of the lower leg. Back to center, release the strap. Don't need it right now. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, sit down, reaching your hips back. Keep your hands on your hips. Touch your hands together in front of you in prayer pose. Just check that you're not holding your breath. Keep reaching your butt back, drawing your belly in, and lowering the right knee slightly to increase the stretch. Standing up. You can step down in between or come directly into tree pose. Holding your foot against your leg as you press your thigh into your foot. Kind of fuse together, support for the pose. When you're ready, bring the hands to your hips. And here in tree pose, you want to open the bent knee like a gate. Sometimes you want to lift up the right hip, but just settle it down so it's at the same height as your other hip. And bring your hands, maybe this time, into cactus arms. The elbows are about the height of the shoulders. I like this arm position just to open the chest. Allows you to take nice, deep, big breaths. Maybe up again. Down. We're going to come into dancer pose, so you can just like reach back for your foot if that's available to you. I'll just turn the other way. You can start with a quad stretch if you like. Reach inside the foot. Flex your toes, bring your left arm forward. Lift your right leg. Pressing the foot back into the hand to increase the stretch. And keeping the hips level and pointed forward. One more breath here. Just gazing at one point. And then release. Okay, and you can stretch your ankle by circling your foot in both directions. And then I think from here we'll just do like a little fancy version of dancer pose. It's kind of between dancer and half moon pose. So let's do half moon pose first as a warm up. Here you might want to have a yoga block or even like a thick book that you can use to create a little bit of height for your hand. Face forward, mountain pose. Okay, I'm gonna not mirror you this time. So I'm bringing the weight more into your right foot, my right foot. You can do the same. Step your left foot back slightly. Reach down for your block or bring your fingertips to the floor. Left hand to its hip. When you feel balanced here, begin to open your hips up. And turning your body to look into the room rather than down at the floor. Turn your gaze all the way up to the ceiling and eventually raise your top arm. This is half moon pose or Ardha Chandrasana. You can stay here. You can also keep looking down at the floor if that's easier to balance. You can bend your knee, reach back for your foot, and then keep opening up, lifting the knee up toward the ceiling, pressing the foot into the hand, and then we'll just come down. Take standing forward bend, cross your arms, let your head hang heavily, you can have your knees bent. Just let your spine pour out of your pelvis. Just relax into gravity. And then bend your knees more deeply, release the cross of your arms and vertebrae by vertebrae. Draw yourself up to standing. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And then turn to face forward. Okay, so that was half moon pose, and then with a little added twist to practice at the end. I actually forget what that pose is called. I think of it like between half moon pose and dancer pose. Okay, second side. If you're using a block, place it kind of just ahead of and outside your left foot. Okay. Bring the weight more into your left foot. Hands on your hips can come as if this is like the start of warrior 3 pose. Bring your hand down to your block. Whatever height you're most comfortable with. Just feel your body in space and feel that your right leg is about parallel with the ground, toes slightly flexed. Begin turning out to face into the room, stacking hip over hip, shoulder over shoulder. You can pause at any of these junctures and that can be your pose for the day. Or raise your arm up. You can look toward the ceiling. Stay here or look down for a moment. Bend your right knee. Just reach back and try to find your foot with your hand. And then open up, pressing your foot into your hand, lifting the knee, turning to face out into the room. And that's good. Okay. And take standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Exhale out the mouth a few times just to let go of any tension you've been holding. Just decompress. Again, scan your body, noticing the heat, the beat of your heart, the rhythm of your breath. Bend your knees. Vertebrae by vertebrae, roll yourself up to standing, roll your shoulders back a few times, and that will be the end of our standing balance poses. So this could be the end of your practice for today. If you have somewhere you need to be, or I recommend taking a few minutes just to come into a deep relaxation or shavasana. So you can join me on the floor if you like. So you might feel very warm right now, but your temperature tends to drop when you're in deep relaxation. So if you want to put your socks on or put another layer on, you might find that helpful as your body cools down. I'm not used to talking and doing yoga at the same time, so I feel a little bit breathless. Close your eyes. Take the next couple of breaths to make adjustments in your body to get comfortable. I tuck my shoulder blades in toward the spine. To broaden and open the chest. You might lift your hips to tuck your tailbone down. Roll your legs inward and outward a couple times and just let them flop open. Turn your palms to face up toward the ceiling. Turn your head slowly side to side and massaging the back of your head into the floor. And let your head find its natural position. And if you haven't already closed your eyes, please do so. For the next little while, just do nothing. Just notice your breath without attempting to change it in any way. Follow your body's cues. If you feel the need to exhale out your mouth a couple times to further decompress and let go of that effort of the standing practice, please do so. Sometimes it feels good even to sigh it out and make some sound. And then eventually just focus your attention on the movement of your abdomen. Notice how it rises as you breathe in and falls as you breathe out. And there's nothing else. This is it. Most of us are used to trying so hard, always striving, putting forth effort. Shavasana is this opportunity to just habituate yourself to the feeling of just letting go. No striving, no effort. We're not even trying to achieve a state of relaxation, although often that is what occurs. Just notice the activity of the mind and how it just naturally, oftentimes moves forward, projecting into the future, maybe thinking about what you're going to do after this practice, or thinking back to something that happened earlier, thinking about a person who is not here. It's natural for those thoughts to crop up. Just notice when that's happened. You might label it as thinking. And then bring your attention back just to noticing the breath. Inhale causes the belly to rise. Exhale causes the belly to fall. With each out breath, just allow yourself to let go. Scan your body, looking for any pockets of tension that you're still holding. Just whisper to that area in your mind. Let go. If you haven't already done so, scan your shoulders, neck, face, and head. Notice holding your body in a certain position or tensing facial muscles or the jaw. And then just allow them to melt. Just let your face, head, neck, and shoulders go completely slack. You can stay here as long as you like, or you can join me in rolling over to one side, staying present and conscious as you notice how it feels to move. After this period of stillness, you can just stay on your side for a moment. Still just noticing, observing. There's no right or wrong. Whatever you notice, just accept it, welcome it. And from here, gradually sit up, keeping your eyes closed and your head down until you're all the way seated. Let your eyes open. You look around the room. Just let the light come into your eyes. Notice the scene in front of you and around you. And I hope you enjoyed the balance poses. I know they can be very challenging and sometimes frustrating if your natural tendency is just to want to be good at things. So I hope you can take that as a sign that that is something to work on, not to get good at standing poses, but just to practice and allow yourself to be in the struggle without judgment or harshness, but rather just playfulness, like it's okay, of course you're going to fall and struggle. These are really difficult, challenging poses, especially if you're not used to them. And it's just fun to practice. And thanks for joining me